Hello, this is international football commentator Derek Ray of the EAFC video game and the Bundesliga. You're listening to the SFF Podcast World Cup Special, the home of World Cup 26 banter.
Singing swallows on fire, set free from desire. Your defenses terrified. Swallows on fire, set free from desire. We'll be coming down the road. So when we go on a plane over to America, down to Mexico or Canada, the Saltire's back on a world stage. The first time since France 98.
From Glasgow to Rio, Paisley to Sao Paulo. Obrigado, obrigado, play the game. Oh, Ciarletta. Na 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 na. Oh, Ciarletta. O pago futebol brasileiro.
The end of a truly remarkable domestic season in Scottish football is over, and the full focus now shifts onto the World Cup, which is only 2 weeks away, with Scotland's crucial first game against Haiti coming 48 hours later. The unofficial World Cup songs are flying into many a Tartan Army playlist ahead of the big event, and in this latest World Cup edition of SFF Podcast, we are going to chat to three acts involved to dissect what it takes to make a football single. I'm John, and I'm joined firstly by podcast regular Josh, and Tartan Army enthusiast Josh. Has the packing started yet for America?
No, but what I need to do is I need to fish out my kilt to see if everything's all right with it for last Scotland trip. And I need to start to pick out what taps I'm going to take with me to America. So absolutely buzzing, man. 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks today. I should be there or be nearabouts there.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you've got a nice collection to choose from. And also join us from the SFF community, the contributor, and free from night shift duties this week, Ricky. Good to see you, mate. First time we've been on a podcast together.
That is John. It's my third time on with the SFF, but my first time with yourself. Thanks for inviting me onto this one. You know, music and football are my two passions, so it's a marriage made in heaven. Yeah,
it was Charlie that convinced me to bring you on, but Charlie unfortunately couldn't make it this week. He's took over the back shift duties, so unlucky Charlie, but he's got a couple of questions which I'll go through later. Now on to our special guests, and firstly we have a man who's no stranger to this podcast, who's made it into 442 magazine. Welcome back, PG Ciarletta, who's recently released The Saltire's Back. Ole to you.
How you doing, mate? Thanks for having me back on. I think the last time was 2024 for the Euros, so there we go. We must have qualified for a major competition again.
Yeah, and there can't be a major tournament without a PG Ciarletta song. And it would be no podcast, no party if we didn't have this next guest on. Man who's touring primary schools across the country to get him the spirit of the tournament, and who's released Scotland on Fire as his latest single. Welcome along, Nick Morgan. Nick, how long do you think the charges got before you drop off?
I put it on overnight, so that's the thing, but it's stressing me out, to be honest. So, the joys of an electric vehicle. But thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to have you on. And there is one more act whom we'll let Josh introduce since he kindly invited them to the party.
Yeah, I hadn't prepared any sort of eloquent, introduction. But we've got Colonel Mustard himself, John, and 1/5 of the Dijon 5. Although there's more than 5 of these, but it's just a great name anyway. John and Greg on these, who also are releasing their World Cup song this Friday. Coming, but so by the time this podcast goes out, it will be tomorrow.
Thanks for having us, guys. Looking forward to getting a chat.
Right, Greg, this is where you come and say thanks for having us.
I was waiting to make sure John was done talking because Okay, no, John, he's never done with just one sentence.
I was going to say Greg's Dijon name's Vanilla Johnson, so you should have introduced him as that, Josh.
I go by many names.
I know Greg by a few more names than that. Greg and I have been on a fair few Tartan Army away days together, and I could name. Are we after the watersheds right now?
Go for it.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I would never do that. No, but great to have you on, guys.
Just for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and it just adds to the build up to the World Cup. So let's get into it. So Nick, you've been a bit busy with the No Scotland No Party School tour. How's that been going so far?
Yep. It's been great. I'm into my third week now. This week sees me up in the Highlands. I've done the Central Belt, the Borders, Northern East. So it's been great, man. A good buzz. A lot of planning. Stressed at my nut, but when you do the performances, it's brilliant to just see the reaction for the kids and all that, and they're just getting so into the whole spirit of the World Cup, and it's just great to be part of it and do it with this tour and helping spread the World Cup joy. You know what I mean? So it's been one of the best things I've done, to be honest. Really glad that I went ahead and went and done this.
Yeah, because you did this 2 years ago for Germany as well.
Well, Germany, when the No Scotland Party started kicking off, a couple of schools got in touch saying, "Oh, can you come visit us?" And I didn't have anything planned with that, but I only managed maybe 3-4 schools.
Right.
But it was such a good experience, and the kids all loved it. So I kind of thought this year, why not do it on a larger scale, and let's just try go all over Scotland and as far as I can and as diverse as I can. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's worked out great. Another couple of weeks to go. Then America, so aye.
Yeah, you cut out a wee bit, but it's because of your signal stuff. But I got the gist of it. So basically, you're a couple of weeks going, and you're off to obviously America. How difficult was it choosing the schools from the hundreds of applicants that you had?
Well, I think the way I started it was I wanted to go to schools of former players. So there was at Ryan Christie's, you had Colin Hendry's, going to Ben Dokes, John McGinn's, Ken Dalglish. So that was the main priority, and then it was just a case of logistically what made sense, where I can go to easily, and also in terms of the applications. Some schools were just like, "Can you come to our school?" Didn't even name the school. And then other schools are like a massive S, how much it would mean to them, but I think it's made sense now logistically, and I'm able to see some amazing parts of the country now as well, and places I wouldn't normally visit or have the. So it's been great. As I say, one of the best things I've done. Loving every minute of it. Apart from charging the van.
Yeah, I think the line should be Sutherland no more charging, because it doesn't work out there clearly. So your latest song's called Scotland's on Fire. What was the inspiration behind that one? Nope. I think we've lost Nick. We'll come back to you. Right, move on to PJ. So your song, The Saltire's Back, Ole Ole, was released on Friday the 22nd. Has been the pipeline for a while? How soon after qualification did you write it?
I would say the idea came like the morning after when I was very hungover, and then in the early weeks after qualifying. So obviously the Euros example was more posting an idea on TikTok and going viral, where this time was more point of qualification and going getting a song idea from then. So it's more or less briefly summarising the last qualification campaign, reference to Alistair McAllister's favourite player, actually Gemmell. In the second verse, obviously that is the most famous Scottish World Cup moment that hopefully is surpassed in the coming weeks. And in the chorus, Yeah, it's always what I always feel for like football World Cup tournament anthems. Make it upbeat, energetic, that people can jump about, party and go mental to. If you look at the biggest World Cup songs across the globe, it's all Shakira, Waka Waka, Dario G, Carnival de Paris. So there's always that sort of party / carnival feel to those sort of songs. So it was kind of like that, and then kind of took a wee bit of inspo off like the Proclaimers as well. Like 500 Miles, they've always got parts in their songs where people could join in, start doing the conga and stuff, and start chanting stuff. So that's really where the kind of all A section came from.
Phil, the song's class. In terms of the World Cup itself, the Euros, you played a few gigs out in Germany, a few of the fan zones, etc. You getting lined up across Boston, or are you shooting over there with the same attitude of going over, see what happens, and hope you get pulled up for gig duties over there?
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Yeah, first and foremost, going as a fan, going to the first two games, Haiti and Morocco. So hopefully we see a win in the first game, setting us up nicely from there. Right now, gig-wise, I think when I'm back in Glasgow for game number 3, we're just sorting plans for one of the fan zones. I'll let you know as soon as that one's confirmed. Across America, I don't think I will be gigging unless I'm randomly pulled on stage somewhere by someone wanting me to sing a tune. But I will be doing other things like TV, radio, and I'm sure I'll make a few videos when I'm across there as well to post. And also enjoy the atmosphere with everybody else.
Yeah, you'll no doubt be in many TVs back home, as you have been already. You've been all over the place, from Sky Sports News, 442, as mentioned earlier, and even the Panini album launch. I mean, what have you made of the publicity you've been getting so far?
There we go, mate. Panini album launch, yeah. No, it's been great. Like 442 actually came about from someone outside of the football world. It was actually from what I'd call my indie rock and roll singer-songwriter music. It was one of the editors had followed me from just listening to grassroots indie rock and roll music across the United Kingdom, which was great because when I went on holiday and stuff, I used to always buy that magazine. So to have one with a wee page is a great wee memento to have for the rest of my life. The Panini sticker launch was great as well. That was another one of those moments where you realised the World Cup was coming and it was actually getting real. So that was great. I never got a sticker for myself, so I got a nice wee book, which was great. Still yet to get a Scotland player, and yeah, Sky's been great too. They've been big supporters, and yeah, no, I've got a lot of exciting opportunities over the next couple of weeks, so I'm just looking to enjoy them. But it's just good as well. I think because it's a World Cup, there's a lot of opportunities for many other people as well. So I'm sure everybody will get their wee moment here or there, which is good.
Right, come in, Ricky.
Hi, Phil. Sorry, you probably hate me for bringing this up, but you seem to handle it really, really well. So, like, see all the nonsense for all the wankers that are online seem to say what they want and think they can get away with it. Like, obviously, you take it on the chin. So, two things. How does it sort of make you feel, and how do you hold yourself back for trying to argue with them on that? Because obviously, that's what they want.
Yeah, I think now, like, I've always, for some reason, I've always attracted quite a lot of pelters. I think on Twitter, if anybody's doing something good, they seem to just attract pelters. But I've for someone at my level, I've seen to get quite a lot. It is hard not to respond because it's getting to the point now where some people are just writing complete lies. Like, I got sent something when I woke up at 7 a.m. I read it and I went, "That's just an absolute lie." And I almost replied to it, but I kind of got myself a wee coffee and composed myself. But nah, like, I just for me, it's a case of keep the head down, keep posting, and don't read it too much. It's like, as I said, it seems to be people across different trades, they seem to get pelters as well, and I just kind of laugh it off. It's a shame that the world is like that, but there's nothing you can do. And I think in the form of art, it's kind of, if you're at a point where your art's provoking a reaction, good or bad, then it's kind of one of those things, and you must have done something right to get there. It's obviously no nice, and I kind of know how it feels, and at a personal level, I do feel sympathy for a lot of people that are get the stick as well. But there's nothing you can do. If people want to get upset and give you pelters, you can't control that. So you just have to keep doing what you're doing if you're making you happy. And like even at the weekend there, I played down in Hull, and obviously last week there was a lot of abuse online. So to kind of go from that world to then going down to a venue in Hull, and you've got a group of people, you know, obviously I wasn't able to sing my latest song down in Hull, but you've got a group of people jumping about, smiling, having a good time. And it shows you that, like, and knowing the words as well, it just shows you that there is people out there that actually enjoy the music. So I just tend to ignore it, man, and laugh it off. I enjoy my lovable Twitter community.
Good. For me, it's just jealousy, man. Like anyone who's sitting there getting somebody who makes up pelters like that needs to get a grip of themselves. So,
yeah,
I love the way you handled it. You've done that from the start. You know, you've handled everything so well. But as things get bigger, so does this shite. So,
I even I played at a gig recently. There was a guy who came up to me at the end and was like, "When I seen you with the support act, I was genuinely concerned because I've obviously read about you on Twitter. So I thought you were going to be terrible." And then at the end of the night, he was like, "I would just want to apologise because you're actually quite good." So it just shows you, like, you can shape people's opinions when they see it, but it just seems to happen.
Right. Cheers, Will. Stay strong, my man.
John, you've got a question?
I was just going to say, let these people that are being trolls, it's probably one of the reasons we came off Twitter. Not because we're frightened of them, but it's just a cesspool on there. Toxic men that just have got an opinion about absolutely everything, that have no talent themselves, but are prepared to go on and give folk abuse. But the reality is, the only thing that matters is that live interaction. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're playing a gig, that's where it counts. And I think, Phil, the way you handle it's great. And yeah, it's just ignore them, don't feed the trolls. But also by them posting about you, it actually feeds your algorithm, so you probably will get some nice fans off the back of folk talking about you. It is that all publicity is good publicity adage. So, but look at all the cool things you've been doing recently, Panini and 442. It's like absolute life goals and getting to go out and play gigs everywhere. These are sad guys that are, stuck in the house, no doing anything. So keep doing what you're doing, mate.
All right, thank you very much, John.
Welcome back, Nick. Sounds like hopefully you've got your technical issues sorted. What I was asking before
one of the guy in the bars has hotspot, so it's looking strong now. That Wi-Fi was in. So I think we're all right.
I hope you just said to him, "I'm the famous Nick Morgan. I'm on the SFF podcast." All right, okay, we'll help you.
Big time shout, Nick. Go for it, mate.
Absolutely. So
no
what I was
Wi-Fi, no party.
So what I was asking before you unfortunately dropped off, your latest song, Scotland's on Fire, what was the inspiration behind that one?
I just wanted to do something different this time, and something, I think, no Scotland Party, obviously, about us just enjoying having a party, no matter if we do shit or not. That's what it was all about. And this one, I just wanted to do it more from a fan perspective, because in Germany, like, I've seen a lot of interviews and folk are like, "What's your wife saying about it?" Or is your work okay with it? And there was so much chat with folks saying, "I don't care." So this one, I thought, no, what, I'm going to make it about a fan who's willing to go to whatever lengths to just make it to World Cup, even if he loses his wife, his kids, his job, gets in debt. So it's more about infidelity. It's just, it's more of a darker vibe to it, you know what I mean? But then again, I think it's relatable because I know some of my mates are like taking out the loans and falling out with the missus because they're going to the World Cup. So that's what it's all about, is Scotland's on Fire. It's not about the football, it's about what the fans are willing to do, really, to make it to the World Cup.
Yeah, you definitely sum up well in the lyrics. Obviously, we've been chatting a bit about the trolls, etc. Now, some of the things that's been going about is being like, the only way Peter Murrow can make himself more unpopular is if he gets a guitar and sings a Scotland World Cup song. What do you make when you read about stuff like that yourself?
You've just got to, like John put it perfectly that way, these folk that are posting it are just folk probably sitting in their mum and dad's house bedroom, just no talent and just jealousy, you know what I mean? That's the thing. So, I mean, it was funny because I done the Go Radio one promoting it because they were nice enough to say, look, we want to push this. I'm like, brilliant. And then, like, I seen there was 2 comments I went on. It was just like pure pish or something like that. And that was me. I'm like, no, what? That's enough. I just know myself. It's probably the same as John. It does affect you a bit, you know what I mean? But there's nothing good. We've been on Twitter and look at the comments. You might find 1 out of 10 that are good. That's just the way it is. It doesn't matter who you are or how good your song is. You could have a number 1, it could just be abuse, this guy's a dick, whatever. So I just know myself. I don't go on it. And as PG was saying as well, and John was saying, you just go with the feedback for the live interactions. And when you meet people who are fans of songs, and me doing the school tour, you see all these kids singing it, and yeah, even with no Scotland party, it was funny because my mate, when it started to kick off, was like, "Oh mate, someone's posted it on Twitter. Go check out," and it was just pure abuse. Like, why did you tell me to do that? But he was like, "Oh no, but it's still cool that it's getting shared." I'm like, "It is great that it's getting shared, but you've just got to look at the bigger picture." Like, for me, I had like Amy McDonald commenting on it and Jeremy Vine posting his show. I'm thinking that's the main things. It's not who the people who you don't know hiding behind their computer. It's the folk who are out there sharing it. That's what matters. And you've just got to take all the positive things and just try and forget all the negative shit. And I know with the new song, I'm going to get a lot of negative stuff as well, but there is going to be that positive stuff, and that's what you just look out for and just ignore the rest and all the rest of stuff. So yeah, we put ourselves in the firing line big time. We'll all agree with that, with releasing stuff. That comes with a part of the parcel, isn't it?
Absolutely, Nick. I've got one thing. I've got to go back here to
Yep.
John Bleasdale. John, I agree with the sentiment, and I agree with what everybody's saying, right? But that Mark Jennings tweet is objectively fucking hilarious. It is a great joke, right? You know, I mean, and it's actually, I think that joke's actually more kind of aimed at the kind of hysteria that's existing online. I mean, I was saying earlier in our Tartan Army group chat, because one of the guys was going on about Bell and Sebastian writing a Scotland song. And I was saying, well, look, you know, I mean, one of the things you've got to think about as well, right? Andy Cameron wrote a Scotland song in 1978, right? And I don't think he's had a mortgage since. You know what I mean? So there's, I mean, the thing is for artists as well is that, I mean, I mean, obviously, you know, artists like yourselves, right? You love making music, you love making art, right? But also, you're doing it for a job, and you're doing it for a line of work, and you want to make something of yourself. And why would you write an album? You know what I mean? Because you want to see it be successful. And you know, we're all Scotland fans, and you know, if you can find success as an artist through writing a song that becomes part of the Scotland songbook and something that everybody loves. Look at We Have a Dream, right?
Yeah.
That is an absolutely beloved piece of music that everyone in the country loves.
Yeah.
And you know, who's to say that any of the World Cup songs that's coming out right now will not enter the same kind of sphere as a song like that? Do you know? And I just think I just I love it, man. Who doesn't like music? Some of them are pish, some of them are really good. Just so happens we've got four. We've got 3 artists on the call who've all got really good Scotland songs. But
no, I think you're spot on with that, especially if like I don't agree with the AI stuff. That's really doing my head in, and then people online trying to take credit, saying, "Oh, this is my husband singing it." And I'm playing the piano. You're like, it's definitely not. You can just tell. But that's the only thing is with the AI is really it takes away from the folk like us who are doing the music and just everyone putting something out. But I'm the same as you, Josh. I just think I love it seeing folk. I love just saving it to my Facebook or Instagram folder, new Scotland songs. I love just, even if they're shit or brilliant, I just love the fact people are making an effort to do it. Apart from the AI stuff, I think it's great. People just picking up a guitar, kind of doing a wee mix of things, or even if it's a cover version, I think it's brilliant. Even that last we've got on the day, talking about her song, the Scott McTominay one, I think it's brilliant that way. I think it's great what she's done. The lyrics are smart. So yeah, it's just the only thing is the AI stuff is the thing that's doing my head, and you'll probably agree with that. Maybe not, but it's just it takes away from the people who are actually doing it themselves.
I was going to come in similar to that, like in the Tartan Army chat group, the guy that was giving it stick earlier. I was just saying, can we not just have one official song like they used to have? Like, what? So folk aren't allowed to go out and express themselves. That's what we're doing. We're doing it for love, for passion. Like, yeah, okay, some of them are rubbish, but somebody's putting themselves on the line and doing it. You know, like you have to respect that. But the folk who are saying, "Oh, shite," just do one. Like they've got no say in the game. They're just there listening. To be in the zeitgeist, they're like, see, going abroad and like when I've been on Tartan Army trips and you hear like no Scotland, no party, and everybody's singing it along, man. Nick, that's phenomenal. Like that's the dream. I took my wee lassie to Denmark last year for her first Tartan Army trip. Like she was 1 year old, but we're dancing away and she kind of bopped away for it because I was playing it in the house for the next 3 months and she loved it. So that and like, but the negative comments, I remember the worst, one of the funniest ones we once got. It was a Twitch. We were playing a festival that Twitch streamed our gig, and somebody like, "This is Sesame Street for junkies." So we started putting it on posters because I thought it was somebody's trying to attack us, but that's funny. We used it.
Brilliant.
Sometimes the unofficial songs are better than the official songs. Anti-Camera's an example. That wasn't the official Scotland song for 78. It was Rod Stewart's Ole Ola. And
all right.
Well, Anti-Camera's is hands down better. Similarly, you know, the other side of the border, the Spice Girls wrote the official World Cup song in '98, but actually Fat Les and Vindaloo was a much better cover.
So that's beautiful. Well, I was thinking through my first. Oh, sorry, mate.
Sorry, man. No, same for France '98 because like the actual France '98 anthem was Ricky Martin La Copa de la Vida, which is the Cup of Life. But the big tune from that tournament was Dario G, Carnival de Paris, and that was the unofficial one.
I was going to say the first single I bought when I was a kid was, well, at the same time I bought Delamitri, Don't Come Home Too Soon, but I dug it out. I also bought, you see, the Tartan Army, Jock and Roll. So it's like Scotland Be Good. So it's Johnny Be Good, but it's Go Scotland, Go, Go, Go. I found the CD of this one, but I couldn't find my Delamitri. And it turns out our bass player's on it. I think. So, John, that's your cousin. You'll know more of that story than me.
I've never heard that before, man.
Well, Gary is on it somehow. I can't remember the story, but he's on. Like, I've got his CD when I was 11-year-old.
Just on the subject of official songs, Chris asked. He says he misses the days of the squad getting involved, and we mentioned Delamitri. We'll also be talking about some of the songs later on. But should there be an official one, or I can't see Steve Clark, for example, saying on yous go, join in with Nick Morgan or MPG or whatever.
I think
well, that'd be class though.
Yeah, I think they're just that busy with other things that they've got other priorities. To be honest, like if they wanted to do one, they could do one, but. See, if you think back to '98 when we qualified, right, there was probably like under 5 songs just because of like the ability to put out music in those days were totally different. You more or less needed somebody to give you an advance or money to make a record. Whereas now it's so much easier and accessible, so to an extent, obviously. So there is more and more people releasing songs, but it has changed in terms of maybe back in '98 you were in more a song era, whereas now, if you think about if people are going to a game of football on a bus or they're in a pub, they'll put a playlist on. So there's always space for 7, 8, 9, 10 songs. So it is, you're probably, to me, I would say go down the route of having an official playlist and put 7 or 8 songs on it and go down that route instead of having one song, just because of the volume.
John, you were wanting to come in here?
Aye. That's a really good idea, Phil, in terms of the official playlist. Why does it need to be an official song? An official playlist is a great idea, actually. The Hampden DJs might be a good shout to suggest that. I'm sure they'll probably have playlists on the go anyway. But yeah, I think an official song would be great. There was talk of Biffy Clyro doing one, so I thought if there was going to be an official one, it'd be them. But I think that, like, to kind of I go back to what Greg was saying, for me, it was like at the Euros, and I brought out a song with my other band, Mellow Party, and it done okay. But Nick's song was the one. It was the one that broke through, and it wasn't official, but that was the song that my son was singing to me, you know, and I loved listening to it and getting into it as well. So I think there's space for both, but it would be nice to have the good old fashioned, the full squad singing something with, you know, McTominay doing a rap, or, you know, John McGinn, you know, like, he would be brilliant in a pop video. So just for the entertainment side of things, it would be great to have the teams involved.
Aye, I mean, it would be great from a quirky point of view, but I think the days are sadly going. Although David Marshall did feature one.
It's not even the diaries though, John. It's the way players are protected nowadays.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they'd have all the agents and like all that coming in and saying, you know what I mean? Like it went down in infamy now, right? But see the John McGinn dancing with the like the kind of German dancing before, that was a moment of genuine, like, captured on camera, and there wasn't like an agent or an Aston Villa PR person that could come in and say, oh no, you're not allowed to do that. You know, that was just like a moment of genius. But you don't really, you know, you don't get that anymore because the players are so protected.
But it's what the fans want, isn't it?
Exactly.
We want
exactly,
that
John.
human. We want that, and it's the same with music as well. Like Nick talking about AI, people can smell that now, and they can see what's just fake. People want to see genuineness. They want to, you know, see the flaws in football players and musicians. And it'd be great to see the guys showing a bit more of that sort of character and humanity.
Well, John and Greg, I'll bring you properly in here. This is your first time on SFF. So for those who haven't heard of you, and that includes yours truly, tell us a bit about Colonel Mustard and Dijon 5 and how you were all created, how you all came together.
We were all created in a lab.
You were certainly created in a lab. Greg's an AI bot.
No, I'm not.
We've been together. We started in about 2010, I think the band officially started. So about 16 years we've been on the go. Greg, funnily enough, the band that we're doing the collaboration with, Sambia Bamba, there was a festival that I really wanted a horn section to be playing with us at, Knocking Gorick. It's actually the longest running festival in Scotland at the moment. It's a really small one in Dumfries and Galloway, but it's brilliant. So I kind of asked some of the Sambia Bamba horn players, and Greg was one of them, Kirsten and Nicola, who are our horn section to this day. And they thought they were coming in for a wee one-off gig, but managed to poach them for some time now anyway. So
15 years, which seems mad because we're all only 26 on our stage ages.
Aye. Hopefully they don't steal you back now that we're collaborating with them. But aye, so the band's been on the go for a while, and even before we played a festival, I had us as the ultimate festival band. That was the dream. That was kind of my, you know, imagination of where I wanted it to be. And it's all singing, all dancing. We wear disco ball helmets and have inflatable unicorns and wear yellow, and it's a sensory overload. It's not just about the music, but that live experience, getting people dancing, getting people laughing, all the things that are good for you. And we take a bit of a slagging online, or it's the adult singing kettle, but we, as Greg with the previous comment, we take that as a compliment. We're like, we are. That's exactly what we are. And what were you going to say, Greg?
I've seen Singing Kettle twice this past year, so that is a badge of honour for me.
Singing Kettle were great back in the day.
Still are.
Arctic came out of retirement. Must have thought ran out his
if
pension.
only we were as big as them.
That would be great. But your new song, The Fathers of Brazilian Football, is out on Friday the 29th. And what was the inspiration behind that creation?
So it was round about Christmas time. My big sister, who happens to be engaged to Roddy for Sambia Bamba, who's one of my best friends and who also plays percussion in Colonel Mustard. She was like, do you remember Malcolm McLean that used to play in Sambia Bamba? Do you remember his great-granda? Sorry, no, his great-granda, his granda Archie was one of the first stars of Brazilian football. And I was like, no, I did not have a clue about that. So I started kind of looking into it, and once I started looking into Archie, there was other guys that were kind of coming out of the kind of the internet at me, like Thomas Donohoe, who took the first football for Busby in Brazil in 1894, and then Charles Miller, not strictly from Scotland, but his dad was from Fairley, so it qualifies under the dad and granddad rule. But that's who the Brazilians call the father of Brazilian football, because he took 2 balls in the rule book, and in the same year he organised a game between I think it was the railway workers and the engineers. So there was 2 games of football played that year, and then he started the official league, and Thomas Donohoe got involved with that. So one was for working in Sao Paulo, and that was part of the textile industry that places like JP Coates and Clark's for Paisley took around the world. At one point, they employed up to 200,000 people worldwide. Funnily enough, in Kearney in New Jersey, 20,000 mill workers went from Paisley over there. So I didn't have time to write the B-side or the follow-up song, but actually when myself and Colin Hunter, who I do like the Hunter McMustard Mellow Party stuff with, when we were out there, we played a gig there. I was going to suggest to Phil that might be a good shout for him to get a wee gig for PG Ciarletta when he's out there, because they treated us like kings and we got a really good fee. And they could understand our lyrics. We done our anti-bigotry song, You'll Simply Never Walk Alone the Best. And they were killing themselves laughing. And one of the lines in it is pretend you're Irish like a homesick American. And they were like, got the humour and they were laughing at it. And we're like, how are they understanding us? We went downstairs and there was a Celtic end of the pub, a Rangers end, and a St Mirren bit in the middle. Because there's and funnily enough, there's a YouTube documentary called Soccer Town USA, and that's where 3 of the guys who broke into the USA team in the 90s were from there. So the textile industry not only took football to Brazil, but also to America as well, and that's what's then led to the kind of soccer league and, you know, major money and all that. But it was all taken there by Scottish people. So Archie McLean, he went over there again, part of the textile industry, a mechanic, but he was a brilliant footballer. He already played for teams over here, like Johnston, and done really well. He was a St Mirren fan. But when he went there, he taught them the short passing game, him and this English guy, Bill Hopkins for Southampton. They were doing wing play and passing the ball back and forward that no one there had seen before. And the Brazilians call that tabelinha, which is the chorus to our song, like, oh, tabelinha. And basically, Jock Hamilton, a guy for Ayr, he was coaching the teams over there, and they call it to this day System Inglesa, but it should be System Escocese, because it's actually Scottish, it's not an English system. So our style of play is what the Brazilians play to this day, obviously with bells and whistles and, better kind of coordination than we've got, probably because the music they listen to and the food they eat and the culture. But yeah, so basically it seemed like a no-brainer. We need to write a song. And given my brother-in-law is the main guy, the maestri in Sambia Bamba, it was like, right, it needs to be a samba song, and let's get a wee bit of kind of history, a bit of light shone on the history of these 4 guys that took football to Brazil.
Yeah, if you ever done the Glasgow Walking Tours football tour around Hampden, like Josh and I did it last year for our mate's 40th, they talk about these guys. So when John brought the songs, like, I've heard about this. like when you came with the idea with the lyrics. It's just phenomenal how we don't get that. We started the Argentinian league, Brazilian leagues. A Scottish guy founded the London FA, which became the FA. You know, so like it's good that that's the difference is we want our song to stand out because we stand out because we're always a bit different and like off the curve. So we're not dating our song by naming the players now that will be out of the squad in 5 years. We're naming guys that have been dead 100 years. You can't be out of date like that.
Aye, that's not commercial suicide in any way.
I sent. I've got a cousin, who's marrying over in Ireland. He's marrying a Brazilian girl, and I sent him your track the day just prior to the World Cup. I said to him, "Look here, share that with your missus, just as a wee reminder before the World Cup." But the decision to, I mean, you mentioned that a wee bit there, John, but the decision to create a kind of samba style song is quite, there's nothing really in the Scotland songbook quite like that. And that was obviously a creative decision. Was it around to, yeah, partly to represent the kind of Brazil and the fathers of Brazilian football and all that, but there's something in it that's a wee bit unique as well.
Aye, well, effectively, it's a Scottish folk song over a Brazilian samba song, so hopefully it has got that uniqueness maybe compared to some of the other stuff that's out there. But it's just for us, our band are about let's have a big party, let's have a carnival. So it's just, it makes sense to be playing music that people can dance to for us because that's what we're doing at all of the festivals. We're wanting people to dance and have a good time, and samba music's amazing. And we got Mikey Grant, who I think, like Nick, is a postman from Ayrshire. He covers, I think, where's Mikey's run? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be shouting out.
He doesn't live there though, so we're not giving away his home address.
Aye, so it's interesting that Ayrshire postmen seem to be the guys that are writing the brilliant tunes, because Mikey'd written this thing that was a salsa song, but that was the good thing about taking it to Roddy. Roddy goes to Rio and Sao Paulo, and he played the place that Thomas Donohoe went to in 1894, Bangu. Roddy was right next to there playing with some of the Brazilian samba bands about 5-6 months ago. He's made his way up the leagues there and played in Carnival and played with some of the best players. So when we took it, the song to Roddy was like, no, that's salsa. And it's not pure samba, but, you know, arguably, you know, it would be difficult to know what is, but it's as close to it as a Scottish band will get. So we really wanted to make it as close to a samba song as possible. But I sent it to a Brazilian singer, May Terra, who's based in Scotland. I happened to bump into her again down in Ayrshire, down at Kilmarnock, down at Centre Stage. She happened to be playing a wee set, and I think she's going to translate it and she's going to sing it in Brazilian Portuguese. But when I sent her it, she sent me this voice note and she was greeting, she was crying because of how happy it made her, because it was like absolutely like her two favourite places, Brazil and Scotland, and our two favourite cultures coming together. So already, if nothing else happens with it, you know, I'm happy that it's touched somebody like that who's actually from Brazil in that way.
Yeah, it's a tremendous story. And yeah, Brazil and Scotland have always had a great relationship that way. Obviously, it helps that we've played each other quite often in World Cup. So, good luck with the single that comes out. I'm just going to read out some WhatsApp questions from the SFF community. So, Chris asks, he says, might be more for Nick and PJ, but given the successes of their Euro 2024 songs, is it difficult to try and maintain that for another tournament?
Aye, that's the worry. That's the big fear. Like, people are saying, "Oh, what are you doing for the World Cup?" And I'm re-releasing No Scotland Party. I wasn't gonna, because I think it's got that nostalgic feel to Germany 24. Now, when you hear it, it just brings back all the memories of Germany. But I didn't really want to water down that nostalgia. That's what I was worried about. But then again, like the amount of people that have asked if I'm doing a rework version, and see just doing the school tours and the kids like going so mental for it. I'm thinking, why not? Why not just release it again for America? It's a different market. We've got a World Cup. Folk would have been like, especially kids would be a bit older now as well. They can maybe appreciate it more. So, but in terms of another track, I think that's why with Scotland so far, I've just went as far away from things as I can, because if I tried to replicate those Scotland the Party with a similar kind of vibe, and it's hard to replicate that again. It's easy to criticise and compare it. Whereas if I've went a completely different route with more dancey, more for the nightclubs and pubs rather than the stadiums, it's hard to compare both. You know what I mean? It's just this taste of music and that taste of music. It's just different kind of genres a bit. So that's why I went down that route, because I wanted to play it. I wanted to play it a bit safe in terms of trying to do the same again. I thought I'll just do something completely different, and then that way people criticise it, they can, but they can't really compare both, if that makes sense. But it is a lot of pressure, because it is, I think PG agrees as well. Obviously, he's Glasgow to Berlin one. It's a great. We were talking on that earlier on about like writing football songs, and Josh was saying, why would you not? If you're a musician, at the end of the day, it's your job. Like, it's such a good platform to release a Scotland song. It's see the amount of opportunities I've had since No Scotland the Party that I would never have had. And my own songs don't really get a lot of streams, but because of that, it's just a great platform to have. So I'm so grateful for that song. And yeah, I think when it comes to writing the Scotland songs, you've just got to take that opportunity, and who cares what people think? Just go for it, and people can say you're selling out or you're jumping on the bandwagon. Who cares? As Josh says, at the end of the day, it's your career, it's your job. Do what you need to do, and that's it, really. So, aye.
I would say, like, one of the beauty of art and music is you always try and beat what you've done before. But if you look at some of the legendary acts, it reaches a point for people that they can't, because they reach such a standard. But I would say that's one of the beauties and motivation for people, is to try and beat what they have done before in terms of their previous catalogue. But yeah, no, it's an interesting point about like football music. But the way I see it is, as soon as we hit the 11th of June, the normal sort of music patterns will go out the window. Like, people won't be listening to the songs that they usually listen to in the genres. People will be like, where is the World Cup playlist? Where is the World Cup songs? And they'll be listening to that. If somebody's wanting a comedian, they want a World Cup comedian. They'll be wanting World Cup cakes. Like, everything will be World Cup daft across the country. So to me, that's just musicians and artists doing what they're meant to do. Like, there is an appetite for music at that period of time. And if you put a song out there that makes people happy and makes yourself happy, and it adds to the excitement of going to America or watching the World Cup back home, then that is the main thing. And if it goes off, it goes off. There's a lot of things you can't control. You can do everything you can to post content and do all the activities, but at the end of the day, it's the public in a country. Like, if they want to get behind something, they will. And a lot of that stuff's out of your control. You've just got to do your best and be happy, and what will be will be.
Yeah, definitely. Donald asks more for you, Nick. I have to ask if your mum got the insurance money after you flooded the house after leaving the tap running on the bath.
Who asked that question?
Donald McCrory, part of the SFF community.
That was a good one. It was a few years ago, and then I ran a bath, and my mum said she didn't have a shower. It was only a bath. So I put the bath on. My brother was like, Nick, you want to go to Troon Pool for a swim? I'm like, no, what? Aye, let's go. So went away for about 2 hours, no word of lie. Came back in, house, steam coming out the windows, wallpaper off the walls. It was like a sauna, and I was like, room's ruined, and it was absolute chaos, man. I wasn't even that young. I was like early 30s at the point. There's no excuse. Aye, honestly, it was. Aye, so that was when my mum wasn't too happy about, but I flooding the house, not just the room, the house.
Is that why you're making all these songs now to try and pay her back?
That's what it is, mate. Getting her always pay back that. I'll pay you back, mum, but aye, absolute carnage. I thought that was forgotten about, but obviously not.
Well, Donald's an Ayrshire man, so that's probably how he knows.
I doubt
And
that's his real name. It was one of my mates.
yeah. So Laurie asks, we'll just ask this to Greg and John. What for you makes the ideal tournament track, and how does it feel to have a tune sung verbatim by Tartanam in the streets or stands? Well, you'll get to know that soon, hopefully.
Do you want to start, Greg?
Yeah, I mean like I said, that's the dream. I've been on enough Tartan Army trips, going on another one later in the year. Sadly, not to America, but for the Nations League, and just going into the pub, singing all the old classics, whether it's for a player or anything, would just be brilliant. Ours has got that sing along bit, so hopefully folk like it, pick it up. Ours is obviously, like I said, a wee bit different to try and stand out, because there's so many other good choices out there. Naming the team, we've got all the stuff from Denmark, reliving that night, because that I don't know if I'll ever see a better game of football than that Denmark game, or hopefully will in a few weeks, but sadly I won't be there.
Aye, there's no feeling like a crowd singing your songs back to you, and obviously, like we having folk that follow Scotland, myself, Greg, Kirsten, a few others in the band, like we're so passionate about the national team. Do you know, it means so much to us. But it's one of the ones. It's down to the fans if they like our song or somebody else's song. That's neither here nor there. It's about what the fans are into. But it is an amazing feeling, like when we play a festival and the crowd are singing your song back to you. It's like one of the best buzzes you can get. And I remember it was almost, I wrote a song, Ginger Girl, about how ginger people used to break my heart. And in a pub, like the Halt Bar, we used to play up in Glasgow and Woodlands Road. And the first time we played that, the crowd started singing it back. And I just remember the feeling I got for that. And once I had that feeling, my songwriting definitely changed after that, where I was writing melodies that were a lot catchier and trying to write lyrics or have wee hooks within the song, not necessarily lyrics, but it could be a ooh or an ah or whatever it is. In this song, it's the na 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 na's that are the hooky bit that hopefully at the festivals they'll be singing along. But it's just a great feeling, and I think any Scotland song that I love, it's got to have a good melody. It's got to have that kind of beat, but it's also got to be something that the Tartan Army can sing.
Yeah, definitely. And last question is from Charlie. He says the Proclaimers said they'd walk 500 miles and 500 more. How many would you walk?
I mean, this has been a point of contention this week as well. There's no actually 500 miles within Scotland, right, Josh?
Yeah. Can I just come in on this? I mean, right. I'm just gonna take this opportunity here. Talk about getting hate, PG. You'll have seen this boy band, this Scottish boy band, right? Now, I never knew Scottish boy bands existed. I've never. Literally, when I seen that, the only boy band I can think of that's Scottish is Wet, Wet, Wet. Obviously, right, and it's a catchy wee tune. They sing in the song, right? But I was sitting there lying in bed the other night, and one of the lyrics is, "We've walked more than 500 miles to hear that Hampden roar," and it got me thinking. And I thought, well, that's no fucking possible, is it? Because there is nowhere on mainland Scotland that you can walk 500 miles to get to Hampden, right? So. The furthest away point in the mainland is maybe like 150 miles, right? So, okay, fine. Imagine you were Jesus Christ, right? And you could walk on water. So, let's say to Shetland, right? Even at that, it's only 290 miles, right? Okay, let's say they live in England. You would still have to kind of snake your way up England to reach the 500 miles that these boys are singing about to hear that Hampden roar, right? And it got me thinking that there's only two logical possible scenarios of this. One, that they must be living on continental Europe, right? And they're walking each game, which seems fucking mental because they could just get a flight, right? Or the other possibility is that it was an easy choice lyrically to go with and semi-rhyme roar with go, despite the fact that it doesn't make any sense because we're not going to hear the Hamden roar in America. Do you know what I mean? So it's just something to food for thought. I mean, fuck all yous. I'd love to have these boys on this podcast just to.
I would love that.
We solved it, Josh. We solved it. There's 5 of them. They just need to walk 100 miles each.
That's
That's
what
what we
we
said.
say.
I'll
Maybe
walk a
always
thon.
set off from different points.
They all just walk their 100 miles and they got their 500. They're fine.
Like there will be people out there that like that type of music that will be jumping about to that song somewhere in Scotland and beyond. So
they look happy in their video.
Everyone's talking about it though. Well,
exactly.
They're getting a lot of attention. Folk. I've been sent so many memes and that and things. If you check this out, so
there was one that was like youngsters these days versus youngsters like it was all the folk in the Ned caps and all that. Oh man!
I actually played football against the guys. There was a charity match when COP26 was on. They're called Just the Brave,
right.
But I'm not sure there's a single guy in the same band for when I played football against them. I think they've had a full turnover. They're like the Scottish Sugar Babes.
Oh, brilliant.
But they were actually good footballers, the boys that were on that day, if it is the same guys, but they seem younger. But good on them. And all the Waynes in Buchanan Street that were there to see them were having a good time. So again, it's objective, isn't it?
Yeah, like I've actually played on festivals with the boys in their team and that, and they were nice enough. Like, and they even commented on one of my bids saying really like the song and stuff. So, which I obviously said thank you very much. But it is like this time. There's just so many different genres and styles of songs coming out. So there will be people that like those types of songs that will listen, regardless of what Twitter says.
Dear me, that's taken on a tangent. Anyway, guys, just want to say all the best with your respective songs. And Graham and Keith Easton, if you listen to this, because I know I'll be sending this to Graham, get these songs in the playlist for Scotland Curacao game at the weekend, and help get the crowds going. Go, Josh.
John, you know what I'm going to say here? I'm going to take this opportunity, and this is a message to Keith Easton. If we get to full time at Curacao on Saturday, and we're going off to America, and the song that they play at full time is Freed from Desire by Gala, I am going to personally run on the pitch in Boston and get the game abandoned.
He's been talking about this since November, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, Josh has a love-hate relationship with them. I like these things personally, but I do think that they made their own goal by not playing Letter from America on full time at the Denmark game. That was an open goal for me, but that's just a personal opinion. But anyway, we're on.
There's the Gallus cover of Letters from America. You heard that one as well? We've done like a punk rock version. It's different.
That's class. It's right down their street. You know, they absolutely bang it out. Brilliant.
It's exactly what you want for a cover. It's different for the original. I still like the Proclaimers one, and that's not just because the bass player for the Proclaimers is the guy that's putting it out. The father's a Brazilian footballer on his record label, Button Up Records, Mr. Gary John.
Yeah, I like the Proclaimers. I'm going to see them this year. That'll be good. Anyway, on to the songs that I sent you guys in the group chat. I just picked it. There's lots of songs obviously being released, as we know. I've just picked 5 for us to quickly rank it at 5 stars. So first one put in Bonnie Wee Team by Callum McPhail, a quirky little number. Ricky, I'll bring you in for this one. What did you think of it?
I think it's a cracking adaptation of an old tune. It's really upbeat and it's catchy, you know, and it gets a bit stuck in your head. But I'd say I'd maybe give it a 3 out of 5 for that one.
That's a good start. Josh, where are you placing Bonnie Wee Team in terms of 5? Are you giving it?
4, probably.
Oh, really? Wow.
Nothing against them, nothing against Callum, but just that one out of those five, number 4.
I thought you were going 4 stars out of 5. I'm not placing them in order of these songs. Just are you placing it like 4th out of 5?
But you want 4 out of you want them out of 5 stars?
Yeah, just to rank them at 5 stars. Yeah.
Oh, well, that feels a bit right. I don't know. 3.
Fair enough.
3.
Nick?
I'm going to go a 2. Like I think you said it's a quirky, wee, fun song, but for me, it doesn't. I think it's great what he's done. The lyrics are brilliant, but it just doesn't give me that. It's more just a fun wee song, I think, for me. That's just my opinion. So I'm going to go a 2 for that.
And do you know what? But before I continue, I just need to stress that these are all our opinions of what we think the songs are like. No, listen, good luck to them all. We're not going to do the Twitter hate.
I'm just comparing it to the other songs that I know are on the playlist. So I don't want to give this one a high score and compare it to that. So I'm just trying to give that, you know what I mean?
Fair. No, it's individual choice at the end of the day. PG?
I'll go 3. Like if I was ranking it from like a professional side of things, then the boy had quite a lot of hits online, and he's very good at what he does. For anybody that likes Scottish trad music, they will love that song. But for me, it's probably not one of the songs I would go to first on my playlist. So I'd put it 3. It is catchy. People do know the words, but if I was given it personal choice, I'd go for a 3.
And Greg and John, you want to give your respective ratings out it?
John, you go first.
So the guy's obviously a really good accordion player. I had a listen. I think he done a version of the main song, Bonnie with Jeannie McCall, that I listened to, and like you can see that's a really good version of that he's just adapted and added in the World Cup lyrics. So fair play to him for that. Probably like the guys, it's no like one that would be a total go-to for me. So probably 3 stars for myself as well.
Yeah, I think we're all aligned with that. I thought it's a good wee one. So if you were at like a pre-game party or Kaylee, shove that on, it'd be great. I don't know if it's one that you would get the fans singing when you're away, but it's catchy. I actually went 3.5 stars. I'm probably the most generous to it.
No, that's fair. The next one that we've got on is Never Stop Dreaming by Skerryvore. What was your opinions? We'll start with Josh this time.
Yeah, I like it, and I like Skerryvore, but it feels a wee bit like Don't Come Home Too Soon Part 2. You know what I mean? It's a bit kind of, we're playing the fucking song. If ever anybody's seen Peep Show, but yeah, I love Skerryvore. I'm giving it a 3.
Nick,
I think a 3. I prefer that one to the Bonnie, the Callum one. I do prefer this one. As I say, like I do like Skerryvore. I love that Take My Hand. I just think it's one. I absolutely love it. You know what I mean? It's so good. So. I'm not comparing it to that. Well, I suppose I am, but in terms of if they'd done something like Take My Hand for that, I'd be like losing my mind. This is phenomenal. But it's just in saying that, it's a song that I can just sing straight away. And that's not believing on the bottom. So it is really catchy. But I'm going to go a 3 for that one. I'd say a 3 for the Skerryvore one.
And PG, on to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3 as well. But again, like for Skerryvore's audience and people that like Scottish trad music, they'll absolutely love that song. And obviously Skerryvore's smashing it with the size of venues they're playing and also the tours, etc. they're doing. But yeah, like Josh says, that song reminds me so much of Don't Come Home Too Soon, and it kind of gives me a similar feeling to Don't Come Home Too Soon. I think it's a weird trade-off. Like, see, I gave the examples of like Daryl G and Shakira, etc. for like the overall worldwide like World Cup songs, and they're all upbeat, energetic, and it is a carnival. Like, it is a proper carnival, and you can imagine just everybody jumping about no matter where they're from. And I think there's a trade-off between that versus what sounds like a club anthem. Like, if you look at actual club football teams, they've all got like these very like mid-tempo or slow anthemic songs, and it kind of feels more like that than opposed to like a tournament anthem. If I was to compare it to like the Waka Wakas and like the Dario G Carnival de Paris, and then like Pitbull, Ole Ola, stuff like that. So I'd go 3.
Greg, what about you?
I mean, I thought as well it reminded me of that of Delamitri, France '98. But like I said, that was the first single I ever bought myself, so I like that about it. I like it's got that whimsical melancholy. It feels Scottish, like something downbeat and soulful about us. I thought it was. I was debating between this one and another one out for these 5 for being my favourite of this bunch. So I was like a 4. I like it, but I also agree with what everyone else has been saying.
Yeah, and then John and then Ricky come in with your thoughts.
Yeah, I think Scaryvore are the people that will be caring the least about our opinions with how popular they are. They're like absolutely massive. This song's really grown on me actually. When I first heard it, I wasn't sure, and maybe it was that the tempo been maybe a wee bit down for what we would expect, but actually there's something quite brave about that, and it's almost got that Mull of Kintyre quite feel, which is one of the most popular songs of all time. But it's definitely one that's grown on me, and it's got as Nick was saying, that melody that is really catchy, and they've got the kind of sing-song bit in it. So I reckon if GBX done a mix of it, they'd probably, it would go stratospheric. But I think he's bringing out a version of Bits and Pieces on Friday to compete with us. But I know it's for me, it's up there as one of the better ones. I would give it 4.
Might have to make me go last on this one. See, for me, like, fair enough, they stayed true to their style just to get a World Cup song. There's no try to do anything different or that. So, but for me, it's more of a playlist song over a terrace song. As Phil was saying, you want to go there, you want to have a party. If somebody sticks this on, it's going to dampen the mood a wee bit. I hope I do get the same sort of feelings as what John's and Nick are getting off at the time, though. Listen to it more, maybe catch on. But at the moment, it's a 2 for me. It's just not my type of music.
That's fair. As we say, it's all individual choice, and we're mixing up the order and who goes first, so we'll get a shot. So Scotland's on the way by Bucks Bravehearts, which features the Telfer brothers, including Craig. Nick, what was your opinion on this song?
I like it. I think, to be honest, it's weird because the Callum one I've heard so much. You know what I mean? Like, because it was out so early. I've heard the JG Bull, which is brilliant. I've heard that so much. So these ones are already in my head. This one, I've just started, when you sent it into place, I've just started listening out. I still don't know where I am with it. I still don't know, because it's, as I say with these other ones, I've heard them so much, not even intentionally just looking at it, been popping up in my newsfeed. Here's a team I'm going to read or whatever. This one, I'm going to go with 3 because it could go up. It's not going to go down, but I'm going to go with 3. But I'm hoping over time that could push up. I don't know the song as well as the other ones now that have been ingrained in my mind the last month or so. So I'm going to go with 3 for that one.
PG, I can't remember if you've been on the terrace before, but if you want a chance to go back on it, you better be nice to Mr. Telfer here.
Like, I think the guy's got a lot of stick on Twitter as well. I'm sure what I've seen, because he kind of said there was a sign-off line that Telfer kind of put on his tweet. I can't remember what it was, but it got the Twitter audience going. I think the song's quite a nice touch, isn't it? It's in memory of someone or one of their mates, isn't it? I do believe. So it's quite a nice touch. I thought it was catchy. It feels like it's inspired by like Alice Tartan Army, stuff like that. I think that was the quote. It was a new Alice Tartan Army or something like that. But it definitely sparked a reaction on Twitter. But I think I'll go 3.5, 3.5 for that one.
Nice. The 0.5 might get you back on the terrace. So, Greg, what about where you ranking it?
Phil captured it perfectly. I thought it channels Ali's Army. It's like a spiritual successor. It's got that sing along. It feels like the most terracey one so far. It does kind of tell the story of how we qualified in Denmark, which I think a lot of these are partial to. Just that's how we all enjoyed that night and felt it. And there's a lot of that stuff around. So I think 3 stars again. It might go up, but I think it's a 3 star.
Right, John.
I really like the drums and the bass in this track, so that kind of kept it driving for me. I lyrically, I like the fact that he pronounces Scotland Scotland. I don't know if that's because we're appealing to the Americans, but or if it's just like I sometimes do that in songs where I listen back to a record and go, "Why did I pronounce that like that?" But I really liked it. I thought it was a fun one. Probably go for 3 stars.
Right. Well, that's the fellow artist experts view. What about the SFF community? Ricky, you, and then Josh. What's your thoughts?
I'm going to go for a 2 on this one as well. I mean, it's all right, it's upbeat and it does get a bit catchy, but I maybe haven't heard it enough 3 or 4 times on the way to work this morning, so maybe no quite had time to sink in and let the lyrics bite into me. You know what I mean? So give it time, it might rise, but at the moment, it's not quite my thing.
Right, Josh, waiting you.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like you say, bit of a spiritual successor to Ali's Tartan Army. Although, you know, I always just think like I could just listen to Ali's Tartan Army, couldn't I? So yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. It is good.
Yeah. And the next one on the list is Back on Tour by Fire Rob. So this was using the song so it's going up my head Dance the Night Away, so it's get that kind of beat to it, but obviously with bagpipes, which makes it quite catchy. But what do you guys think? PG, start with you this time, mate.
Yeah, I guess on the floor, Jennifer Lopez and Pitbull.
I was going to say that, Phil.
John,
yeah, that's Jennifer Lopez on the floor. I think you'll find maybe a wee bit
on the floor,
too
Brazil,
kind of
Morocco, Vegas to Africa. Yeah,
Pitbull's in there as well, by the way.
What's that?
Pitbull's in there as well.
Yeah.
There's a song before that, but I can't remember the name of it. I researched it.
It's the Lambada, because
that's the one. There's one before that as well.
So that was based on another song.
Aye. So
oh wow.
Aye. Well, that's my notes. I'll wait till my turn.
Yeah. I know, like it kind of reminds me of, because obviously it's like an interpolation. It kind of reminds me because I think that song blew up on the likes of TikTok and Instagram, so it kind of reminded me of the Euros. In that sense, based on sort of song that's really popular. That song is obviously a floor filler in terms of the Jennifer Lopez and the Pitbull version. I can't comment on the one before that because I was still aware of it was based on another song, but I think it is upbeat and people would chant it, so I'd probably go with the 3. I'm going to go 3.75 here. I'm getting closer to 4, but
what is it with these double digits? But you're going to go 3.8 for the next one. Jeez, Craig, what about you? It's your turn now.
So like I just thought that's that J-Lo song that samples Lambada, which I know it was catchy at the time. I'm not a fan of it. The way she changes the words is clever. I mean, we're guilty whenever we were in the pub before a game putting Scott McTominay's name into every song, and that just reminds me of when we did that. But I don't like it. I think it's a 2-star. But I also think it's going to do well on TikTok and things like that. So I genuinely hope she does well with it.
Yeah, and John, what about you?
I think she's got a really nice voice, and it's good to kind of have female singers in the mix as well,
100%.
not just the guys hogging all the limelight. So I enjoyed that, and it's a song that everybody's got that kind of, again, a catchy melody in their head with it. So it's a good one to kind of get on board with. But I'd probably go for 3 stars for that as well.
Yeah. And Ricky, on to you. What's your thoughts on Farah's song?
This one's my favourite of the bunch by quite a bit. Thought her voice is cracking. I think it's one that will really kick off in the terraces. Fans can pick it up that easy and sing along to it. There's not a lot to memorise. If she's playing it live, she's going to get a huge crowd reaction. So I thought it was really good. The way she's worked the lyrics as well are outstanding. So I gave her a 5.
That's fair. Good on you. Josh, what about you? Were you putting it?
I am probably the opposite. I'm probably not having it. Lovely voice. We've not got enough female singers in the Tartan Army songbook. Only one I can think of really is probably Amy MacDonald, and that's not even really a, you wouldn't really get a lot of that. There's not that many female Tartan Army songs, but all the same, I'm sorry, I'm not having it. I'm giving it a 1.
Fair enough. It's not everyone's taste.
Sorry, Fat. It's nothing personal.
Listen, see, at the end of the day, it's down to personal choice, whether you like a song or not. We've been saying this for the official stuff.
I say that, John. Wait till we get to Boston and I'm 10 Budweisers deep.
Fair enough. What about you, Nick?
I like it. I think she's really likeable. You know what I mean? You can tell she's just buzzing and happy to be doing it, which is great to see. And actually, the thing is, I think the production on it's great. But when she's first released it was just an acoustic version. I quite like the rawness of it and just how her guitar. Now when you had the Celtic one, Jota on the wing, just the lassie with the guitar. I'm not saying it's overproduced. The production's brilliant, but it's just I did quite like that rawness. But I think out the ones we've discussed so far, it's definitely one that gets me. I could see in a pub full blast if I'm just steaming, just getting into it. It's not something I would in the car going away to put on. I'd know that, but if I was in that atmosphere in the pub and that came on out all the ones so far, I think that's the one that would get me probably just singing along just because it's so catchy and gets into your head. So I'm going to go a 3.5. If I can do a 0.5, I'm going to go a 3.5. I don't know if it's allowed.
I thought you were going to go 3.54 or something. They're going more random than BG. And the last one on the list, it was mentioned briefly by someone. This is an unofficial song, the very unofficial World Cup song by JJ Bill, who's obviously famous for putting in random songs about Chris Wood, etc. So, Greg, you're first up with this one. How many stars did you give this out of 5?
I like this one because it's so different. He's got a kind of talking heads. It's about him the way he sings it, but there's also a bit where I think he sounds a lot like a guy that sings in the band that we're friends with and play a lot of gigs with, Mickey Nines. He sounds a bit like Doogie from them. I also like that this is the only song on the list that's not got the commentary from the Denmark game sampled in it in some way. But this and Scary War, I was flipping between which of these two I like the most out of it. This is a good strong 4, maybe even willing to go 4.25 just to mess with you, John.
John Mustard, how are you putting it? Are you going more than 4.25 or?
This is my absolute favourite. I actually reached out to JJ Bill about a week ago to see if he wants to remix our song. I absolutely love his stuff. I'm a big sort of Soul Wax, Too Many DJs fan, and it reminds me of that and like LCD Sound System and Hot Chip, and as Greg said, like Mickey Nines, and it just really appeals to me. And I think he's got the best lyric of the lot as well, where it's the James McFadden 30 yards against France, Archie Gemmell running through the Netherlands. That's one of the best rhymes I've heard in a long time. But no, just love the guy's energy and the humour in it and all. It's good to have a song with a wee bit of humour in the mix as well. And but I love it. And much like Nick's song for the Euros, this is the one that my son has been like, Dad, love this one. So we're big fans in the house.
I wanted to give it bonus points as well because he takes a dig at the USA.
Yeah, that definitely deserves some bonus points.
That as well. That's great. Did I give it a rating there, by the way? I'm going 5 stars if I haven't already.
Right, fabulous. Ricky, what about you? Were you having it?
I am now. It's definitely grown on me over the last few days. To start with, I was kind of like I'm not really a big dance music fan. I was kind of, but the more I've listened to it, the more I'm like, this is actually quite good. It reminds me of Electric Six. You know, it's kind of got that beat and vocal to it, and then it builds onto something pretty big. So I'm going to give it a 3 though, because even though it's a good song, it's a bit catchy. It's not really one for the terraces, and this is all about the fans at the end of the day, innit?
Josh?
Yeah, I'm straight away 5 stars. It is so fucking stupid, right? It's so stupid. It's so stupid, right? But it is amazing. So funny, so daft. You know, few folk have made reference to a few different artists that, you know, Hot Chip, Electric Six, Defo, Hero, that. I think this is honestly, I think this is probably going to be one of the ones that folk just, you can just imagine the Tartan Army like you're sozzled out their nut, you know, in the pubs, like everybody sitting. It's just hilarious. It's brilliant.
So Nick, humorous music to your appeal?
I really like it. It's taken me a long while, to be honest. It couldn't have been further away from my musical taste, and it isn't. I don't listen to that music. It's not. And at first, when folk were saying it, I was thinking, "What the fuck is this?" It's just so random. But yeah, I love the fact he's not taking it serious. He's just taking the piss, kind of. But it works, and it's just. I do agree. Was saying, who was it mentioned? There was it Ricky that said like the only thing that lets it down for me is in terms of the terracing thing. I can't really picture it for that, but I can picture just after the game, fans walking to a pub and it's going like just vibing with it. You know what I mean? It's taken me a long while, but I do really like it. I'm going to give it a 4 because that's the only thing that's stopping it is in terms of the vibe of the terraces and that's my favourite one. I think it's McTominay bicycle kick. Just the way he throws things in, it's just so well written and really well done. And I think it's just refreshing. That's it. It's so like it's total out the box and just it's taken a while, but I do like it. So I'm going to go with the 4. The highest I've given for this one is that one.
Right, yeah. BJ, on you go.
Yeah, to be fair, I do like JJ Bill's content, and I do like all the parody songs as well. I think they're really funny. To be fair, I think this one works just because of the deprecating humour and all this sort of, like, to be fair, you know the melody, and there's so many like lines that are like, and not just this song, and a lot of his songs as well, that you just always remember. I like the fact he's just in a total lane, like on his his stuff's a complete lane on his own, and I love the fact that he just doesn't care. Obviously, just does his own thing and pushes ahead of it. So yeah, I think it will be popular. I just don't know what form of popular it'll be, if it's more an online thing, and if it will make its way to the terraces, because it is that sort of banter and laugh side of things. So I'm going to, obviously we'll find out in the next couple of weeks, because you know things can happen in music that you don't really expect, but from what you see online, it is very popular. People's engaging with it, people remember lines from it, but again, I can't imagine it on the terraces, but we'll see. So I'll probably go 3, I think.
It'd be something if it did appear on the over the tannoy at Hampden on Saturday, but sure.
Well, I remember what the first line is, so
yeah, I doubt it. Right, so let's move on to what 3 songs you'd each include in your own playlist. It's not necessarily the songs that have only just come out for the World Cup. We're talking about Scotland classics of years gone by. So, John, what would your 3? What would be your 3 songs that would make in a Tartan Army playlist for you?
Aye. So I would go for the Proclaimers, 500 Miles, We Have a Dream, and go for Nick Morgan's No Scotland, No Party.
Nice. Ricky?
I'm going to start off with the Snuts, Glasgow, just to put people in the picture of what's going on. And then second tune would be Bubbles by Biffy, because as soon as that song kicks off, everybody's fucking moving, aren't they? And then the last song is from a band called Bleed From Within. They're a metal band for Hamilton, so they're absolutely massive. But at the end of this song, for about a minute to 45 seconds, there's a huge bagpipe solo. So I think that'll just send everybody home happy.
Nice, good choice. Interesting choices. Josh?
My three songs are kind of already on my playlist. But because me and my mates always kind of sing these songs. So number one would be "Knowing Me, Knowing You" by ABBA. Um, that originates in Albania away, and we were locked in this pub. We drank all the vodka in the pub. They didn't have vodka left in the pub at all, and we got to like 4 o'clock in the morning. It was the first night in Albania, and they hit like there was pure shit music, and they kept playing songs over and over again. And they were playing at ABBA, "Knowing Me, Knowing You," and we all changed the lyrics to "Shagging Me, Shagging You." Right? So that's just I've always just fucking sang that song. Um, "Pick Up the Pieces" by the Average White Band. I don't know, it just always gets people funky, doesn't it? It's just such a funky song. And then "On the Road Again" by Willie Nelson. Because whenever I go away with Scotland, I just feel like right on the road again.
Mr. Morgan, what about you? Apart from your own album, of course.
I will go. We Have a Dream. I think it's the best song ever done by a Scottish for the Scottish. I think I love it. I love doing it live. I love doing the wee ad lib stuff, and I mean, I think it's a great one to do live. I would then go. I'm a huge Travis fan. Loved them since I was 40. I love them, and I get chills or buzz when like the fans are singing like "Why Is Always Raining Me." I just think it's so Scottish. You know what I mean? With us being shit at times, and it's not just about the weather. It's just about being miserable and things happening to us. Especially being a Scottish supporter. So I would go "Why Is Always Raining Me." I love. What game was that in Hampden?
Georgia, when the Leaf Blowers were out to take the rain away.
Oh, brilliant, man. And then
That was the one as well. It was great.
So good, man. So good. And then for the third one, quite a new song that's out last summer was the song of the summer, but doing it live now at the gigs, it's just a staple, and it is "The Glen" by Beluga Lagoon. I think that's just only going to get more and more. I love it. I still just listen to it all the time, just get the same vibes from it. So that's my three. We Have a Dream, "The Glen," and "Why Does It Always Rain on Me?"
Right. PG?
I love that Nick called it "The Glen" by Beluga Lagoon, because I think a lot of people forget where that song originated from. And Beluga was massive before the remix. Obviously, the remix has take it to different levels, but it was a very popular song before then. But I would go with what I see as the most popular in my head, which would be 500 Miles, No Scotland, No Party, and I'd go for Loch Lomond.
Yeah, nice and simple. And Greg, last for you.
I'd go for Andy Williams, "Can't Take My Eyes Off You," because that's the Christian Daly song, and that is the best song to sing in a pub when you're steaming before, during, after a game. I would go with Status Quo, "Rocking All Over the World," because my first memories of going to Scotland games when I was a kid, they always played that, whether it was Hampden, Celtic Park, Ibrox. You can tell the era I started going to Scotland games because we'd lost Hampden for a bit. And then last one would be "Angels" by Robbie Williams, just because of every pub we went into in Dublin, Josh, every pub, the guy sang that. Could be the start of his set at 7 o'clock, sang "Angels." The guy in the next pub at 8:30 finishing his set, "Angels." Guy on the next on in the same pub sang "Angels" everywhere.
The only time I think about Robbie Williams associated with the Scotland national team was when Scotland v Fair Isles was moved to Celtic Park, because Robbie Williams was playing at Hampden, and the chant around Celtic Park that day was "He's fat, he's round, he's still a effing ground." It was a classic tune that. Right, I'm cautious of time, so we'll wrap up very quickly. But Nick and PJ, you are obviously definitely going out to America. PJ, I know you touched on it a wee bit earlier, but what's your plans in terms of being out there? And how hopeful are you that you might get a last minute request for can you come into a pub and play a gig?
My plans is just live, laugh, love, mate, and make the most of it. First and foremost, and hopefully see a win. But no, obviously for me going to the 2 games is going to be amazing experience as a fan. We've never ever been in my lifetime being able to be of a legal age to go to a World Cup, so that's good. No, I think I'll have a lot of good sort of radio, TV, social media activities, and if there's a nice wee moment where I appear somewhere or jump up somewhere playing a tune, a World Cup song, then that would be nice as well. But we shall see. Like thinking back to the Euros in Germany, a lot of unexpected things happened when you got closer in or when you were across there. Things would just pop up, so you never know.
What about you, Nick?
I think as PJ say, that's the exciting thing, is just you don't know what's going to pop up when you're out there, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're the same, Phil, but like in Germany, I'm maybe like absolute hammered, like 8 beers down the pub boozing all day, and you get a phone call for Sky Sports thing, can we come interview? And you're like, I'm absolutely hammered, but let's go for it. So it's the fun of not knowing what's going to happen when you're out there. It's the excitement. It's been great since the Euros releasing that track and doing the away games and meeting, obviously, guys like yourselves, and the podcast is brilliant now. Then meet you guys in the future if it's Scotland games or away games, or same as when you're out doing these things, you meet more people, and I am just excited about it, and I just want to do a mix of enjoying it and maybe doing some work as well, but I just need to enjoy the moment rather than just being out there PRing and pushing things. It's more to just enjoy it. So can't wait, buzzing for it, not long now.
Well, Greg and John, I don't think you are going out to America because you have the small matter of a tour of your own, the Festival Kicks tour. Tell us a little bit about that and how much he's looking forward to it.
It's really looking forward to it. So the song comes out this Friday, and then we're supporting Madness the following Friday, the 5th or 6th of June, I think it is, up at the Helix Park, and then we've got Eden Fest back down the rabbit hole
game as
at the Palace.
Eden Fest is the same day as the Haiti game, so we play that, and then the game's on at the festival. If you're at the festival, you can stay and watch the game. I'm racing up the road to watch it with one of the guys from our Tartan Army for his 40th birthday party. Sorry, John. Keep listing our gigs, because the more tickets we sell, the better.
It's all right, mate. No, it's a good interruption. Be good to watch the game at Eden Fest. But there's quite a lot of gigs coming up. Belladrum, and we're playing at Fringe by the Sea, and sure I've missed one or two.
We're playing in Kilmarnock,
not already said
the rabbit hole.
No, it's going to be Kilmarnock Fair, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a good summer of festivals and football, so looking forward to it and looking forward to partying and having a good time.
Yeah, well, I say good luck to you all with whether you're going to America or having gigs and anything else you do in between times. Hope it all goes well for you. And whatever happens on the pitch with the team, we can never control that, but let's hope we can all enjoy the hype leading up to the tournament and the tunes that go with it. So thanks, Nick, PG and Greg, and also thanks to Josh and Ricky for joining me on this podcast. Our next episode will be our World Cup Bonanza, being recorded on the 8th of June and going live the next day. But for now, enjoy the build-up and good luck to Scotland against Curacao on Saturday.
Cheers.